Hi writers and readers, I'm Christie Stratos, and today we're starting a brand new series called Journal Jungle. And the idea is that I can present to you a lot of different journals and magazines. There's so many literary journals and writing magazines out there. It's really hard to know which ones are right for you, which ones you might want to take a chance on. They're not always cheap, especially subscriptions. So before you go buying, I'm going to buy them for you and let you know who they're useful for, what kind of information they usually contain, and that way you can sort of judge for yourself whether there's something you want to buy or not. So if you have any recommendations or anything you want me to check out for you, leave them below in the comments and I'll see if I can find them. And if I can, I will do a video on them. So I'm going to start out with the classic Writer's Digest. Why not start out with something that most of us are familiar with? So one of the great things about Writer's Digest is that they really come up with a broad range of subjects to talk about. A lot of different topics. They cover every type of writing. They cover novels, short stories, poetry, different forms of haikus, all kinds of stuff. So I think that they're really useful for most writers. Of course, this is not really something you'd buy as a reader, so it's really just for writers. One of my favorite things that they do is they have special issues for things like, for example, this one is the creativity issue that I just held up for you. So I have the creativity issue from last year and the one from this year to compare, and they're both really useful. So my favorite thing from this year is a section called Workbook, Writer's Workbook, in each of these issues. And this month's is middle grade and young adult. Get to know your young audience, and it gives you a lot of really good details on what that audience is looking for and how you can sort of cater to them, and tell if your writing style and your topics and things like that will work for that audience. And I think that that's a really great thing to be able to read. It sort of can guide you in the right direction. So if you're not sure if your writing works for them or if you want to gear your writing towards them, this is a great issue for you. It's great articles. One of my favorites from the last year's creativity issue of Writer's Digest is 50 writing prompts for every part of your brain. Last year's issue also contained one of the writer's workbooks, which was a little bit more general, still useful. This year's more, but last year with the 50 writing prompts, it was really great. It gave you 50 in different categories. So for example, they had silly prompts and fiction starters. They also had creative nonfiction starters and wordplay prompts. So there were a lot of really great prompts in there to help you out. And of course you can find prompts online and stuff, but these were categorized in a way that's useful for everyone and every type of writing. So if you held on to this issue, you could possibly use it to prompt you and help you get moving on another project down the road if you decide to do nonfiction eventually, or if you're a nonfiction writer to do fiction eventually. Also in these you have literary agents. Different literary agents are focused on, and they'll tell you what they're looking for, but in a more fun way. They have like a mind map for these literary agents, so you can see, okay, here's what they're looking for. Do they look at the blogs? What are they interested in? Who is their favorite writer, old writer, new writer, all that kind of stuff. So that can also be useful, not just for those literary agents that are listed in these issues, but just to sort of tell, compare, contrast, and get an idea of what literary agents are looking for. So as you can see, there's sort of a wide variety in these, particular the creativity issues, of course, but also in general in Writer's Digest, which is why it makes a really good magazine for both beginners and more advanced writers to subscribe to, or even just pick up an issue here and there. They've always got really useful stuff. So if you're just starting out writing, this is a really great thing to pick up so you don't feel intimidated by something, a kind of magazine or journal that's already so in-depth that you would need to know the industry really well. This is a great place to start. And for those of you who are more advanced, it might have some really good tips. They talk about PR and how to spend that money best, so things like that, you may find useful. So that's it for the Writer's Digest issue of Journal Jungle. I hope you really enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful. Leave some comments below and let me know if you liked it, like the video, subscribe to my channel for more of these. I have a few more magazines to go through already. And if you have any ideas for ones you want to see in the future, leave those in the comments too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.